So, let's move on now to spoiler talk. So, if you don't want to know anything else about the movie, you don't want to hear spoilers, you can go ahead, turn it off now, and come back and listen to this later. But we're going to dive in to the story and the characters and all that kind of stuff. It opens with Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, and she's talking about the death of Superman. She's talking about what happens now that he's not here. Basically, they don't have anyone to defend them against other metahumans. They keep saying, "What if the next Superman is a villain?" So she convinces people to go in with this Task Force X program that she's pitching to the government. So, what do you guys think of Amanda Waller and Viola Davis?
I think she was perfectly cast, but Alec, what do you think?
I was going to say, pretty much dead on. She's perfect in the role. I can't really see anyone else as Amanda Waller, even though Amanda Waller has already been in film.
Yeah, I agree. She definitely nailed it. She's got that vibe, that confidence about her, like Amanda Waller. There was a scene near the end of the film where she does something pretty terrible, and I don't know that was a good choice for the character, but she sold it. I thought even that kind of stuff she was able to sell.
What scene are you talking about? We're spoilers here, so.
Oh, there's when she shoots the FBI agents or whatever they are.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. No, I thought that was perfect. That she's that kind of personality where they don't have clearance, so they can get into the room, but they're not going to leave.
Yeah, I just thought it made her worse than anybody in the Suicide Squad, which I don't know if that's what they were going for, but I don't know. It kind of ruined the character a little bit for me.
what are you talking about? That made her badass.
Yeah.
Gangsta.
That's right. Street cred.
So speaking of the Suicide Squad, they did an introduction with them at Belle Rev Penitentiary, and they sort of did pretty quick introductions to the various characters.
All right, before we go any further on that, can we talk about the fact that they did two groups of introductions that was completely unnecessary? Like, we get the introduction to Deadshot, and then we get the introduction to Harley, and then it's Amanda Waller sitting in the restaurant, and then she reintroduces them again. Like, why is that there? It's just not good.
Yeah, that might go back to that editing problem, because there were a few things that they did like that where it's like, oh, here's Harley Quinn and we'll establish her as being wacky, and then, oh, here's another scene where we just basically do the same thing. There seemed to be a few instances of that where they repeated themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's part of the problem I had with the movie. But anyway, back to what we were talking about.
And in those introductions, did you catch the little for each of the characters, they had like a little bio that flashed on the screen. I've
Yeah.
heard people talking about that, but I don't honestly even remember them. They went
No,
by so fast.
no, they were there. I got to read most of it, so.
Did you read the part of Harley Quinn where people are saying it said that she killed Robin?
That I don't recall.
Apparently, like one of the last things on her list was, it was like Joker's girlfriend, like gangster queen, killed Robin. That's what people are
Well,
saying, but I don't even remember the credits. So, but other than that, what did you guys think of the different characters? Did they set them up good? Did you like the characters?
I thought that Deadshot was pretty cool, and honestly, this could have been just a Deadshot movie, the way that they did it. Because Will Smith really, I think this is his best movie he's made in a very long time.
Yeah, easily. It's
Um,
I don't know. It was very easily the the Deadshot and Harley movie. Everyone else was like second tier to them. So
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have done more with Captain Boomerang. Like, I wish he would have used his boomerangs more as boomerangs instead of daggers.
yeah, instead of stabbing everything.
Yeah.
And he seemed like an interesting character too. Like he was this wild card that they never really played, honestly.
Yeah, I think they could have done more with him. But, again,
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah, again, I liked the Deadshot character, but I didn't like them basically doing the Ant-Man story with him.
But that's his story. That's always been his story, even
I
before. Oh my God, I can't remember Ant-Man's name now.
Scott Lang.
Scott Lang. I kept thinking Eric Lang, but that's a combination of Eric O'Grady and Scott Lang. No, so I don't know. Deadshot. That's kind of always been his story. Is that he's got this daughter he's looking after, and like he's doing hits to provide for her.
Yeah, it was basically the same story that they did with him in Arrow.
Yeah.
Oh, in the TV show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's his story, but still, I thought it softened him too much. I thought it felt like they were just trying to not make Will Smith a bad guy.
I mean, how could you? He's Will Smith.
Did any of the other characters do it for you? Anybody interesting out of that Suicide Squad group? Enchantress, or I guess we'll talk about Enchantress later. But
El
Killer
Diablo
Croc.
was heavily featured in the movie too. Like he's kind of a like second or third tier villain, and
Yeah,
the
they gave him a good story arc at least.
yeah, he had a fantastic story arc in the movie, and you know, he was the only one that actually had like superpowers too out of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a good arc. I thought it was they had a good mechanic for sort of keeping him out of the fights, because it seems like he could have just, done everything himself if he wanted to, but he had that whole "I killed my family, so I don't want to use my powers" thing, so that kind of kept him on the bench until the end. So I thought all of that was pretty good. And the one person who kind of got sort of shift to the side, I thought, was Killer Croc. They didn't really do much with him at all. They didn't even give him a backstory, honestly.
Yeah, they gave him like the intro that everyone else got, but like no explanation as to why he's a giant crocodile man. And I don't. What is it in the comics? He has like some sort of disease, and that's what makes him look like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it changes.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, he's just a giant crocodile, so.
So after they introduced the Suicide Squad, they did the Joker, and this is definitely a different version of the Joker, played by Jared Leto. He's more of a like blinged out gangster. He's not the sort of loner psychopath like Dark Knight movies. What do you guys think of the Joker and his use in the movie?
I actually, I might be going against the grain here, but I liked it. I remember, Alec, you telling me that he's not in a lot of the movie before I watched it. And be that as it may, I thought he was in enough of the movie for him to be a useful character, kind of. I don't know. He just really seemed psychotic and unhinged. As I haven't seen this Joker on film yet, and it worked for this movie.
I don't know. I'm kind of like in a weird position about this Joker because, like, one, we haven't seen enough of him, and two, like, I don't know, like, hearing all those things that Jared Leto did on film, or not on film, but like on set, like, for as much as he is in the movie, like, it doesn't seem necessary that he's sending people dead pigs and use condoms and stuff. Like, dude, you're in the movie for 10 minutes. What the hell? So that kind of, like, ruins it a little bit for me, because it's like, okay, this guy's being a dick playing this character, so that, that's a personal thing for me. Like, okay, I don't really care about it. But at the same time, we didn't see enough of him for me to really get a good feel of like how he would play the Joker.
Yeah, I heard that sentiment from a few people about the backstage stuff kind of ruining the character for them. But I also heard that there's a ton of footage that was cut from the film for Joker subplots, and somebody went through like the different trailers and the different behind the scenes photos that were released, and like they said, like this shot's not in the movie and that shot's not in the movie, and they hit a whole list of shots that have been released in one form or another that didn't make the film. So I think there's more to the Joker character than what we saw.
See, that's why I hope they come out with like a director's cut so that we can see this, because as I look at the film now, other than Harley's backstory, the Joker's a useless character in this movie. Nothing he does after Harley's backstory really affects anything.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
No.
a yeah. Randy, go ahead.
Well, it's just like he messed up the movie would have been over if he didn't try to capture Harley. He hijacked a helicopter and then basically caused the end of the movie. Otherwise, the movie would have been over and unresolved because of the Joker.
Yeah, but that could have played out almost the same exact way if they'd just gotten the helicopter and what is his name, Incubus or whatever. They don't really say his name too often. Enchantress's brother. Like,
Yeah,
he just
remember.
knocks him out of the air like he did to Amanda Waller, and you would have had the same movie happen still.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a waste because I thought that was a really good subplot of the Joker's coming to get Harley and he's going to mess everything up, but I just don't think they played it right.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it was Amanda Waller's people that shot the Joker's helicopter out of the air. So that helicopter was on its way out, if you want to get technical.
You're killing me here. No, like, they get on the helicopter, they're leaving, like Amanda Waller did when the second helicopter came, and that first helicopter can get knocked out of the air by Incubus just the same as the second one did. Like, that entire sequence was unnecessary.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not like the U.S. military has a limited number of helicopters. I mean, they could have just kept sending helicopters.
A helicopter could have flown the other way, away from the bad guy, too.
It could have gone higher instead of dropping lower immediately. There's all kinds of things they could have done better with that.
I would say they did that for the sake of story, but this is about the time in the movie where the story just kind of started to fall apart.
Yeah.
Everything up until that point was all right.
Yeah, I just felt that entire sequence was just shoehorned in just to give Joker more airtime, because we hadn't really seen too much of the Joker at that point.
Yeah, so let's go and talk about the plot now. I like Randy's saying, I thought it fell apart basically when the shooting started is when it fell apart for me. I thought they built this thing up and it was looking interesting and it was looking like something different, and then it just turned into a big dumb action movie. I heard someone describe this film as being a combination of a video game and a music video.
There's way too many like just random weird villains that they were just mass destroying, and it was just pointless. I found myself waiting for that scene to be over. It wasn't fun to watch, like like 300 or something like that, like a cool battle scene. It was just like boring.
Yeah, I think that's where they kind of, because they'd started doing something interesting by saying, hey, we can't, they even said, like, we can't kill these guys, we know we can't, everybody we've brought in has been taken down by these weird mud people or whatever, so let's sneak around them, right? I thought they were going to do something interesting trying to avoid these guys, but instead they just, let's just start shooting.
Well, they got spotted by them first. That's why the shooting started. But, like, yeah, it was pretty stupid. They just sat in that area waiting to get seen. And, yeah, that entire sequence at that point was just, hey, we're just shooting guns now.
Yeah, can I ask you guys a question about the plot?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because Uh, I was talking this over today, and it wasn't clear at all to me, like, why they were going into the city. Because the whole time I thought they were going into the city to stop the Enchantress, not to extract somebody out of the city. I don't know if I just missed that or what, but because near the end when they're going there to pull Amanda Waller, you find out she's in the city and Suicide Squad's trying to rescue her. I was like, why are they going to that building and not going to attack the Enchantress? I must have completely missed that plot point.
Yeah, because I think you just assumed that they were going to stop the Enchantress, but that wasn't their mission at all. Their mission was there's a VIP at the top of this building, that's the mission. They said you can kill anybody else in the city you want, but you have to get that VIP out. They never mentioned Enchantress. They never said we're going to stop this thing. They just said we're going to get this person out.
Again, I'm going to chalk that up to bad editing.
Yeah, there was definitely a point where like Amanda Waller just mentioned there's HVT 1 in the city, and that's where they're going. And we didn't really hear any more information about it. Like, obviously, they're keeping it a secret that it's Amanda that they're coming to pick up. But, like, suddenly they're going to a skyscraper, and it's like, no, she's in the subway, dude. Like, what the hell?
That's what I was saying. Like, I was unclear as to what their objective was until the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's another part where I thought they missed an opportunity where I think the government forces, because they were with a bunch of like secret guys, what do they call them? Special operative guys, right? There were like two teams of those guys, Alpha and Bravo team. And I thought it would have been a cool idea if the government told Amanda Waller, we're not coming to rescue you, we're going to take care of this problem. So they send in their special forces guys there, and then Amanda Waller calls in Suicide Squad to save herself. Thought that would have been an interesting plot twist.
Yeah, I guess why couldn't they just send a helicopter in to get her? Because it's pretty much, didn't they just send a helicopter to the roof of the building she was at?
Yeah, and she was at the top of the building already, so
Yeah,
what the hell?
I guess because they had some of those mudmen around and they couldn't get out of that secret door with the mudmen around. I don't know. They got ambushed when they got in the building, right? So I guess the mudmen were surrounding her.
And to be fair, she had to kill everyone in that room, so she would have been on her own as soon as she left.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely plot holes. What did you guys think of that plot twist, though, that we talked about with Amanda Waller being... I didn't expect it, honestly, until she showed up. So, to me, it was an interesting plot twist.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was pretty cool that, like, when it happened, but, like, upon further, thought of the matter, it's like, wait, what?
Well, just speaking of plot twists, if it even is one, I just want to say that I called it from the beginning that Slipknot was going to be the first one killed.
I mean, that's fairly obvious. Looking at any of the commercials, he's in like two shots. The one where he punches the woman and the one where he's going up the side of the building. He's not in any other group shot. And it's like, oh, he's the one to show like those explosives work. That's why he's there.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah, that was another missed opportunity because I thought that was a cool idea of like Boomerang basically screwing him over, right, and saying, "Hey, these bombs are a lie. They're just trying to mess with your head. Let's escape together." And then he uses Slipknot as a guinea pig. I thought they should have done that kind of stuff throughout the whole movie, like just have them, constantly messing with each other, screwing each other over, and just have it be a real struggle for them to even be a team.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get now from the plot and the plot twist to the ending. Like you said, it was unclear what they were doing or why. There was a scene near the end that just brought everything to a crashing halt when they went into the bar to have that bar scene, and sort of, I guess that's where they came together as a team. I don't know. What do you guys think of that bar scene?
Standalone, it was okay, but like at that point in the movie, it was like it just took you out of the movie for a second, and
It did. It slowed it right down.
it slowed it down. And I know the point of it was to bring them together as a team and make them like ultimately more heroic, but like it really just like made the movie come to a complete stop.
You think that was editing? You think that was supposed to take place earlier in the film, or is that just not good writing altogether?
Didn't they have a couple reshoots on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably just, I don't know. Especially from the trailers and everything, I thought this was going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy, the Villains edition. But that's not really what you got.
No, not at all.
No, and then so from there they leave the bar and they decide they're a team and decide they're going to go save the world, and there's some sort of side plot with a bomb that I guess they set up earlier in the film.
Yeah, they set it up earlier in the film, and then they reran through that same scenes all over again to explain why they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah, fun stuff. I think they did that just to give Killer Croc something to do.
Yeah. Guys, we need a water level in this video game movie.
Yeah. Where did the SEAL team come from with their oxygen tanks?
Well, they probably, like, I don't know. Is there like a sporting goods store that they just like crashed into?
Maybe.
'Cause, I mean, other than that, they had to run all the way across town to their other helicopter to
Yeah.
grab their stuff.
A lot of that stuff didn't make sense. And then they get to the end, the final battle. There's Enchantress there and her brother. And there's this giant portal in the sky that she's
She's
doing
building some
something
sort of machine that's going to kill the humans or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It turned into like some kind of giant weather machine or something that was shooting lightning at helicopters and aircraft carriers and stuff.
Yeah, we hit a couple satellites. We took out an aircraft carrier. So yeah, it's odd.
So they were going in there I guess they were still trying to save Amanda Waller at the end of the day because she was there. She was being used as basically a brain for this machine, picking targets, I guess, is what she was doing.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, how does Amanda Waller know exactly where aircraft carriers are in the ocean?
Dude, she's Amanda Waller.
She knows everything.
She knows this stuff.
She knows things.
Up-to-date positioning of all military in the world.
Apparently.
So yeah, the Suicide Squad get there, they get to the end, and then they each have these little... The Enchantress uses her magic and gives them each these little visions of happiness. What do you guys think of those visions? You even remember them?
Yeah.
It was Deadshot killing Batman.
Yeah.
Harley having like 2 kids with the Joker, and neither one of them looked crazy.
Yeah, they were having their normal life together. What was Boomerang's?
Did Boomerang have one?
I don't know if
they didn't hit everyone.
Yeah, I don't think they showed him. Did Killer Croc have one too?
No, he was underground.
Yeah, he was underground.
What would his have been? Just like, like a aloe vera commercial or something?
The crocodiles in that do have it pretty good, I gotta say.
But
yeah, Boomerangs would have been just like a bunch of beer and like Australian rules football.
Yeah. Like a drunk rugby game.
What was it? El Diablo had the big one that like made him realize it's not real, and he snapped everyone out of it.
That's right. He was basically the MacGuffin of this movie, honestly.
Yeah.
At the end, he does that. He snaps them out of their little fog, and then he goes in. They all start fighting the brother, which previously in the film he had just sort of like been slaughtering people easily. But of course, once he gets to the Suicide Squad, he's just sort of kicking and punching them until Diablo.
All his magic goes away.
Yeah, all his magic goes away. And then Diablo uses his fire, and he turns into like a big sort of fire demon thing, which I didn't know was one of his powers, but it's pretty cool. I thought that was one of the coolest things in the film.
Yeah, it definitely kind of leveled the playing field. I did think, though, that the design of the evil brother, it looked a lot like the Destroyer in Thor.
Yeah, it had that kind of banded armor look to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you know about El Diablo? Is that one of his abilities to turn into a demon?
No, it's not. He's just basically a pyrotechnic, so I don't know what that was all about. I'm trying to find the character. He basically resembled a Mayan god or an Incan god. I don't remember which one is which.
Because that's essentially what Enchantress and her brother turned out to be, is some sort of ancient, like 6,000-year-old beings that were at least posing as deities way back when.
Yeah.
So it kind of made you think that he might have been one of them, or there was one of those like lurking inside of him.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. It was rather crazy when it happened, so...
So anyway, they defeat him, and then the Enchantress decides that she's gonna pull out a sword and start sword fighting everybody. That's where it went off the rails for me. Like, why would she do any of that stuff? Why would she just use her magic?
Yeah, they showed her being like such a proficient spellcaster and doing all this really cool stuff at the beginning, and then just out of nowhere, like, hey, I'm gonna be a sword fighter. Like, what the hell is the point of that?
And also the voiceover they did, or the new audio sounded really strange.
Which audio was that?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't think it was the actress's voice, doing all the lines of the Enchantress when she was in her Enchantress form. It didn't match up for me. It really took me out of the film whenever she talked.
Oh, and it had sort of that big, like,
It was like that
God-like
deep,
voice.
booming type voice, but all the while I don't know, it looked really off kilter.
Yeah, I heard someone compare her to Gozer from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I read the whole, like, did they do the Ghostbusters ending on this movie?
It seemed like that. She kind of did ask them if they wanted to be gods.
They should have said yes.
They should
Always
have
say yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the end of the movie. Harley Quinn like cuts her heart out with a sword, and then Rick Flag finds the heart and ends up crushing it, and thinks that he killed his girlfriend. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention that Enchantress was his girlfriend.
Yeah, we've completely avoided that. That was actually his
motivation in the movie.
His entire motivation. Actually, we haven't even talked about Rick Flag all too much.
No, I mean, I thought the actor did a fine job in the character. I liked the character of Rick Flag. It's just his purpose for being there was just kind of weird and all over the place.
Yeah, he was basically, the thing that's meant to keep the plot moving. So.
Yeah, pretty much. He's the guy who's got to, wrangle the cats, I guess. But yeah, they do that, and he thinks he kills his girlfriend, but she actually comes back, and so we think now that the Enchantress is dead, but his girlfriend isn't. Is that what you got from the end of the movie?
Yeah, I think so. She's no longer possessed.
Right.
I mean, we'll probably see in future movies, if there are future movies, and if she's included in them, that like she still has magic, because that's what happens to June.
Yeah, well, I want to say two things about that. First of all, the first time she transformed into the Enchantress, I thought that was one of the coolest things in the movie.
Dude, that hand-on-hand thing, that was pretty sweet.
Yes, and that just sounds so bad when you say that, but if you've seen the movie, you'll know what we're talking about.
I think it was even in one of the trailers, but it definitely gave you like that Ring vibe,
Totally, yeah. And Yeah, you kind of threw me off with that hand-on-hand quote. Like I forgot what else I was going to say. Oh, and I wanted to say that the trailer that was cut for this movie is not the movie that we got. You know what I mean? Is
Yeah,
like I felt like the Suicide Squad was going to be like going after the Joker or something from all the trailers,
yeah, they totally played up Joker was the villain, and
and like you barely even saw Enchantress in the movie, yet she's the main villain. So
yeah,
Yeah, that is true. Her screen time was not a lot for someone who's the main villain because, like you said, she had that cool introduction in the big Pentagon room where she does her stuff.
yeah, I know. And what prevented her from just like teleporting away and getting a nuke and just blasting everybody?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of what ifs with this movie.
Yeah, but then she's just gone for the rest of the film where she's weaving this spell, I guess, is what she's doing.
and taking breaks to make Mudmen.
Yeah, that's right. She has to turn around and kiss each Mudman individually, apparently.
That's right. SEAL Team 6. I thought, again, with the video game allegory, those are like not just your regular bad guys, they're the souped up bad guys you fight in level 2.
Yeah,
The elite bad guys.
Yeah, those come before the water level.
Yeah, so what do you think overall of the plot and everything like that, the characters? Anything we missed?
Katana. We completely did not talk
Oh,
about
God.
Katana. You know why? Because she serves no purpose in the movie either.
Otherwise, it's just looking cool and having some cool sword fights.
Yeah, there's cool sword fights, but like she's there to be Rick Flag's bodyguard. But like they talk about like if Rick Flag dies, everyone else dies. Like Rick's special ops, he's surrounded by other special ops. He's got the controls to blow everyone's head, and obviously Amanda Waller did too. So why does he need a samurai bodyguard?
Why not?
It was just like she's there, and they don't ever really talk too much about her. Like they tell you that like she's got a soul that, or she's got a sword that will take your soul if she kills you, and her husband's soul's in it, and that's about it.
But then apparently Mudmen have no souls because they didn't show any of that happening when she stabbed them. None of
Yeah,
their souls went into the. Yeah, she was definitely a superfluous character. She didn't fit at all. And then again at that bar scene when she chooses the Suicide Squad over Rick Flag, that made no sense at all either.
correct. Yeah, she's an outsider, not a Suicide Squad member.
Right. So she had no. I mean, she would have happily, I think, cut all those people down because she was very anti-criminal. It seemed.
Yeah,
She probably just wanted a drink.
Maybe that's it.
don't we all?
Yeah. Did you want to drink after this? I mean, we're talking the movie down like we hated it, but we.
It's kind of like you gotta love to hate it a little bit.
Yeah. I think under scrutiny, the movie doesn't really stand up. Would you agree to that?
That's a fair thing, but I think with the beginning was strong enough, and Will Smith was funny enough for me that it was still a good movie. So.
Yeah, easily. The the main characters carried the movie to the point where like you're glad that you saw the movie, but like you're not necessarily going to go see it in films or in theater again. I will pick up the DVD / Blu-ray / whatever
Extended Ultimate R-rated cut.
Yeah, if they have the extended cut or the director's cut, or what the movie should have been, had David Ayer been allowed to actually give us his proper vision.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. If they do come out with a director's cut, I think that would get me to watch the movie again. But other than that, I mean, it's kind of a movie. I'll probably buy it anyway because I buy every comic book movie just about. Other than the latest Fantastic Four movie,
I still haven't seen that.
I have not either.
You guys want to hate watch it one time?
Oh God, we should do that as one of the hangouts.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Awesome.
So that's pretty much our ending, but just like the movie had a mid-credits scene, we'll have a mid-credits scene here. where we're talking about Batman and then the mid-credits scene that they had. So there was a Batman cameo in here during the whole Joker Harley backstory, where he jumped
And
on the
Deadshot.
car.
And the Deadshot backstory.
Oh, that's right, and the Deadshot backstory. That's true too.
And
What do
there
you
was a
guys-
Flash cameo in Boomerang's backstory, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised with that one.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming. That was pretty cool.
Fun
No, that was
fact
pretty
about
cool.
that was actually directed by everyone's favorite Zack Snyder.
You could tell.
It was so well put together, you could tell.
It was
I mean,
so
the
dead.
Flash just stood there and did nothing. That's classic Zack Snyder.
What did he say? Hey, there's no honor among thieves or something like that. And what gets me about that particular scene is that he didn't save the other guy, like the guy that Boomerang killed with his boomerang. I mean, Flash would have, in comic books, he would have saved that guy, right?
Maybe he didn't get there in time.
Boo. That's not the Flash. He always gets there in time. That's what makes him a hero.
Not in Zack Snyder world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that was the Flash. What about the Batman cameos? What'd you think of those?
I liked them. The car chase with the Joker was fine for as short as it was, and then I was hoping the fight with Deadshot was a little bit longer, but it's Batman. He's gonna whoop his ass anyway.
Yeah, he was kind of just standing there for most of it,
Yeah.
just trying to be imposing. It was weird.
I thought the end of the Joker cameo or the Batman cameo with Joker was a little weird, where he like bent in and kissed Harley Quinn. Was he trying to give her mouth to mouth, or?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
don't remember.
Yeah, trying to, even though it doesn't work that way, try to like put air in her lungs.
Because it just seemed like he went in for a kiss, honestly.
I mean, I would.
That was another thing about the Harley Quinn characters. Everybody just kept talking about, oh, she's so hot on the outside, but so not on the inside. That got kind of grating to me, honestly. But then we had the mid-credit scene, Amanda Waller talking to Bruce Wayne. He wants some information from her in exchange for his protection. And then she tells him at the end, like, you shouldn't be working nights. Does this tell you that she knows he's Batman, or what? What did you guys think of that scene?
It's Amanda Waller, so she knows he's Batman. It's like that's kind of the cliche. The government knows that he's Batman, but they just don't care.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I got too. I mean, they kind of left it so it could go either way. But I would just assume that she knows that he's Batman.
And then the other thing that Bruce Wayne says was like, shut your team down, my team will take care of it. Does that leave them open to basically not have any more Suicide Squad?
I could see that, but I think they're going to try to do a sequel from this, even though they already have a lot on their plate already.
Yeah, what do you guys think of a sequel? Would you be down for that? You think this earned a sequel?
If it gives me more Captain Boomerang, I will take a sequel.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, you could totally use a whole bunch of new characters and make a great movie with a sequel if you did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for a sequel, but I don't know. I've kind of lost faith in DC after so many, mediocre movies. I don't know that if I can trust them again. I mean, I'm sure I'll watch them again, but I won't be as hopeful as I was for this movie. That's for sure.
I
Oh,
still
that's-
have high hopes for Wonder Woman. Like that's going to be my jam next year. So
All right. Well, I guess I think we've talked about everything we can talk about here. Unless you guys got anything else.
nothing offhand that I can think of.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, then let's just sign off. This has been a special edition of the Comics Community Podcast reviewing the Suicide Squad movie. This is Mitch. You can find me on Twitter at Zebu_Nation. Where you guys have any last-minute shout-outs? I'll take that as a no.
Well, I was waiting for Randy to say
I was
something.
waiting for you to say something.
Well, fine, I'll say something. This is Alec. You can find me at Twitter or Twitch.tv or Instagram under Professor Counterflux, PROF Counterflux.
This has been Randy. You can find me on Instagram and the YouTubes under Silent Flick.
All right. Good show, guys. We'll sign off here.